Did your parents use a lot of group work?
My mom was born in '71, so she didn't go to high school until like the early '80s, and she said they used a little bit of group work, but not a whole bunch.
My parents were both born in poverty-stricken families, so neither of them actually participated in group work because most of the work they had to do was provide for their family.
My parents said that they didn't do a whole lot of group work. Their main group work was when they had lab partners for science class and did science projects and stuff. And when my mom was on the yearbook committee, she collaborated with them and obviously did group work to make the yearbook. But other than that, unless they did homework together just to have somebody else to study with, that was their only collaborating group work that they did.
My parents were given group work in their school days. My mom said the only group work that she was given was during basketball drills when they had basketball practices. And she also said that they did group work in science labs but it was more with partners more than groups. So you had to partner up and do a science lab together. How did your parents collaborate with group work, and what resources did they use?
There wasn't as much technology then. My parents' group work consisted of meeting in a central location and rarely communicating over the telephone.
When I asked what strategies my mom used while she was in school, she said that she had the library resource and her teachers, but she said that they used to call each other when they had group work or drills to run or something like that, and they would call each other and on the telephone, and it had a very long cord, but they had to wait to use the phone because there was only one line, so they had to share lines. So if someone was on it, she had to wait.
My parents, when they communicated about their group work or when to get together or what each person was going to do, they mainly just decided during class or during their meeting times when the next time they were going to meet was going to be, what each person was going to do, and then they just made sure to meet up. If they did have to communicate otherwise, they would give each other a phone call or just wait till they saw each other at school.
What is your earliest memory of group work?
My earliest memory of group work is in 4th grade when I did a science fair project with a partner. We did it on the effects of the tide and how far it pushes up seashells.
My earliest memory of collaboration would be in 4th grade. We had to make posters of certain topics in which we all as a group had to gain information on them, and then together we had to put them on a poster board to present to the rest of our class.
My earliest memory of group work was back in 4th grade when in my math class we all had to make posters for the different times tables when we were learning our multiplication and division, and then also when we started doing little science projects and working together.
Working in groups. I first started working in groups when I was probably in kindergarten and preschool because you're set up in groups at big tables and you rotate those tables to go to different activities. So therefore you were in those groups with those people to finish those projects or lessons or activities that you were assigned as your table. And when you moved from different table to different table, there were different activities at each table for each group. And you're usually color coordinated or have a special name in that group or something like that. And you change up groups in kindergarten quite a bit, so you get to experience your social skills with other students, and so you're not with that same student all year round. Do you believe group work is effective?
I feel group work is effective as long as everybody is able to work together calmly and distribute the work evenly and everybody be responsible for what they said they were going to do and not leave all of the work on somebody to scramble and get it done at the very last minute.
Work can be effective if it's done the right way and shared the right way. I feel that a lot of students, each student in a group, tend to, one does everything, the other one does absolutely nothing, expects everybody else to do it. One just kind of sits and watches and chimes in every now and then to get a sense that they are doing something. But I think group work can be effective if it's done the right way, monitored the right way, and I think it'll show in your presentation if your group work is effective or not.
I feel that group work can be very effective as long as each person is responsible for their own jobs and that everyone collaborates and works together in a positive environment.
I have mixed feelings about group work because usually one person gets the majority of the work, and so it can be effective to the person doing all the work, but not effective to the person who is kind of slacking on their work.
Is group work used in your field of study?
I plan to teach kindergarten, and I feel that group work is very effective, not for the children, but for teaching. I plan to get a lot of other ideas and collaborate with other teachers on successful ways for the kids to learn different things. I feel that group work for the students won't be as effective because kindergarten students are so young and they're still kind of working on themselves.
Group work isn't a major part of my field of study. In psychology, a lot of the group work consists of collaborating for articles.
Group work is definitely part of my degree and what I want to do for a living. I'm a communication major, and pretty much everything is about collaborating with people and working in teams and being able to communicate well. And when I start working, I want to be part of event planning and people who set up conferences and different things like that. And so I'm going to be part of a team that I'm definitely going to have to collaborate with and have good communication with and know good and bad ways of collaborating together to get the job done.
Group work is actually used in my field of study because I'm an education major, so therefore I will probably use group work quite a lot as a teacher and educator. Not only with my students, but with my colleagues and other teachers, because you tend to have meetings with teachers in your same age level, and you tend to work with those people and have group works within itself to come together and make lesson plans and things like that. I also will probably do activities that will make my students work together to get to know each other. Whether it's on the first day of school or not, they will still do some type of group work.